Going to start, Tony, what you called for, looking to go up top. Does he get the time? Couple of nice dodges, and now throws it down the field. Open for a moment there was Harvey, the running back, but it's incomplete. Patriots rushing 4, and he's going deep. He's got a man open, by the way, and he's got it at the 10-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Stidham goes deep and is able to deliver a 54-yard strike.
Playoffs, though.
Ready.
On 2nd and goal. Take the handoff, throw to the end zone. Wide open. Caught for a touchdown. Cortland Sutton and the Broncos strike.
This is the play. Corner and safety. You've got to go ahead and in and out here, but they have their eyes in the backfield. And this is just a great play call by Sean Payton.
Here's May starting this drive out of the gun and finding a quick completion to Diggs to about the 39-yard line. Off their first down, May quickly over to Diggs, stuck initially by Mike Millen, and that is the guy that, of course, made the critical play. 3rd and 12 with that pass rush tee off. Here they come. May got it away. Diggs, though, has 2 Broncos on him, and he's thrown back after a short gain.
Another motion.
On 1st down. He keeps it. Look at all the room, and he slides right in front of Marcus Jones. It'll go for 8. Notre Dame. It's a 3rd and 9. Stidham goes down the middle of the field, and ball's dropped. A little behind him, but certainly catchable. 2nd and 6. Bootleg, and May chased and thrown down. That is Q Robinson making the play, the rookie from Alabama. He wasn't even active last week. He was a healthy scratch. Now he comes in and forces a 3rd and 15. As May goes underneath, and Stevenson unable to hold on to that one.
That will determine how you handle this and your success.
Okay, Trace, here's a 2nd and 7 to Ingram, the tight end. And it'll close out the first quarter in all likelihood. You had Davis.
Ready.
Okay, out of the gun. 3rd and 3. Sets his feet, fires, got it. 1st down to little Jordan Humphrey. Against Houston last week, but was in concussion protocol. But back for the start here in this one. 1st and 10. Harvey, 2nd time he's found some running room. It's his 2nd 9-yard run of this first half, going behind the likes of Ben Powers. And not even a quarter and a half today.
Yeah, a lot of different ways as well.
3rd and 6. Here comes the pressure. He's running away from it. Stidham running after the chains, and he dives close, but will be a yard short.
Safeties are high, but these guys are tight. Going to be hard to run in the middle. Got to throw it.
Oh, they're coming after him, and he is intercepted. Now incomplete, they'll call it. On downs.
No one better situational football than New England. So prepared. Should have kicked that field goal like we talked about. Take another timeout. That's why that gave them a chance to get more prepared. This is a huge drive for New England here.
Could be a momentum changer as May is being pursued and brought down. Cooper kind of slowed him down, and then DJ Jones finished him off.
Here to the young left tackle.
3rd and 13. May's got the time. Goes right down the middle, and he's got the completion. Mac Hollins comes back. 3rd and 3. And there's May in traffic. Just got back to the line of scrimmage. Zach Allen brought him down.
You got the one-on-one opportunities outside. Are you going to take them?
Looking to his right now. Dumps it off instead, and reaching out is Mims. Backing up. Oh, the ball comes out. Is that a fumble? Is that a live ball? It's picked up by the Patriots. And that is a touchdown for Ponder if they call it a fumble.
Because if it goes backwards,
after
that is
discussion
going to
on
be
the
a
field,
touchdown.
It was a backward pass by the quarterback, picked up by New England. It will be 1st down for the Patriots at the spot of recovery.
All right, Gene. After all of that, recovered by New England, they reversed their own call.
Yeah, they did, and because they blew that, he can't get the advancement of the backward pass. So they've got to give the defense the ball at the spot of where they possessed it.
2nd and 4. Taken off is May. Drake May to the end zone for the New England touchdown.
And you see just the numbers right here. I'm going to throw it. No, you're not. Get up on the second level. Just a walk-in touchdown based on the numbers here. Stevenson goes and blocks. Just throw it away. It's not there. We called it. It's not there. Throw it away.
2nd and 10. Across the middle. He's got his target. And they got a first down. Going to the 2-minute warning. Harvey with the catch and run. That was a big one.
Yep. They'll have a little bit more time here, technically.
No, they're on him. They're on him, and it's Barmore with the sack.
Throw it under the sticks. Let someone go get it.
There it is, Tony. It's Ingram. Cuts back and close to the 50, but it'll be 4th down.
2 plays turnout is going to be huge.
2nd and 5. Down the middle, and Henry, we were just talking about the nominee for the Peyton, the winner of that named by the Pro Football Writers this week. 3rd and 5, caught and tackled, and they have that timeout to use. Surtain able to just end it right away.
Get up, throw a shallow cross right underneath.
Caught by Harvey, and there he goes. Out of bounds to stop it on top of it.
So I'm still just trying to get the first down.
Looking to go up top. Now rolling away. And he lost a yard or two. More close ones, including the game winner in overtime. Here's Lutz from 54. No, it wanders right.
It did, and that's why the conditions, it's just difficult. And you see, to me, they needed those 5 yards to make it, and it did not cover by much. It looks like it's going to cover by a ton, but look at about 4 or 5 yards, but you're a little into the wind. I think that's why he tried to drive it a little more.
3rd and 15. May gonna run with it. And look how far he goes.
Oh, that was genius. He did it because he knew he couldn't get out of bounds before the clock ran out. He might have a second.
Close out the half with the monster kick. And that does not have a chance. Both teams with missed field goal attempts in the last minute.
Both defenses are great. Backup quarterback, got a young quarterback who's played great. 2 kickers miss. Tie game. What do we expect? Denver, New England, AFC title.
All right, Evan, you got it.
Coach, after that one scoring drive for Denver, what changed?
Part of that, though, is scary because it's like he's going to be gun shy a little bit. He's got to let it go in the second half, but you're exactly right. He's got to protect the ball.
Stevenson barrels ahead for the first down all the way to the Denver 46. And how big? 2nd and 6, and another extra lineman comes in.
A lot of jumbo, a lot of nub sets.
And look at the Broncos. Bust across, including Jonah Ellis. Benito trying to get around the edge. May felt him and took off. And May's got a first down. And he's wide open to the 20 and out of bounds at the 15. May drops it off. Tight end screen, and it's right at the sticks again with Hunter Henry. They're going to mark him. So it's based on the far. Stevenson moved. May. He's got the body lean. Again, on the far side, it's not the mark they would want if you're the Patriots. The ruling on the field stands. It was so close. Tracy confirmed she was right in the area when Peyton threw the challenge flag, and he was demanding they take a look at the sky cam view. But it's going to stand. And it's a first. May looks left, keeps looking left, in trouble, and brought down by Cooper. 9.5 minutes. 23 yards. Borregales, the kick is good. Yeah, they took 9:31, 3rd and 8. Over to Mims. Got a blocker out in front, but he's not going to have nearly enough room to get the first down.
They are downwind, down snow, whatever you want to say it. They need to score on this drive.
2nd and 10, and he again escapes the pocket and takes off for a first down
throw it on this drive and throw it quickly.
2nd and 5. There's a little flea flicker. Back to May, who throws it down the field. Is caught. It is Hollins with the reception.
You know, in golf, it's howling left to right downwind. It's hard.
The give. Stevenson tries to push his blocker in a certain direction to help him, but Broncos are wise to it. Kick's on the way, and that is wide right. Good call there, Tony.
Early in the year, easy. This time, these conditions, as they're changing in real time, very difficult. I don't even think it looks like it. I think it actually might be.
2nd and 9 over to Mims. 2 blockers up ahead. And let's get more on this conditions on the field from Tracy. And that left to right howling wind, as you called it, Tony. 3rd and 5. Stidham, can he get the first? Oh, the ball was in the hands of his receiver, but Jones broke it up, and little Jordan Humphrey from the 20. Stevenson gets the handle, and a great drive starter and a pickup of 11. 3rd and 4. May has time. Now it breaks down, and they sack him. Handoff to Harvey, trying to run away from tacklers. And he turns it upfield for the best play of the second half. Stidham in traffic, dumps it off, short gain. Not much there at all for Moore, Elijah Moore.
And this has been the big adjustment for New England in the second half.
And the running back slips, and May cuts his losses. Stevenson trying to take off. Rolling near the goal line, lofting it out of bounds.
They literally decided to throw the ball away.
Lutz with the helmet on, standing by the heaters on this important 3rd and 12 snap. Stidham every step closer to a field goal as he gets within about 3 of the first. Earlier in this half, this to tie the game, and the kick, no good. Just impossible conditions here in Denver.
Throw it away because they don't think the other team can score, and look at how tough it is to put the ball down. Does a great job there, but the wind, the conditions to see, it's whatever you're seeing on TV, I promise you it's way worse on the field. Everything.
Oh, it's tipped. How about that? Just brought up Leonard Taylor off the practice squad last night. Tipped it.
That ball is made if he doesn't touch that ball.
That was 45 officially now. And they're going to stay on the ground. How about that? How about that? They stay on the ground for no gain.
They are 100% entrusting their defense.
Stidham from the pocket, wanting to heave it, now just shoves it to Harvey, and that's only going to be maybe a half yard. 2nd and 9. Rushing 5. This is a deep throw, and it is picked off. Intercepted. Waiting for it was Gonzalez.
No one's been better than Gonzalez this postseason. He's been playing outstanding. Gave up 1 play earlier today, but other than that, and right here, he sensed that they might take a shot on the previous play. They come back to trying to look there. This time he just widens, basically doesn't get up closer to the wide receiver, stays deep, and that was just a really poor decision by Stidham there. Needed to go through the progression.
I asked you, should they have heaved it down the field on the previous play, and I think Denver thought there was an opportunity there.
It was close.
Came back and
no safety deep.
Oh, here he goes. He can try to beat him with his legs. As Ellis runs after him, and May got there. Drake May outraces the defender.
And the aggressive call by Josh McDaniels sends New England to the Super Bowl with a really aggressive call, and that is a first down. I'm telling you, they almost set him up. That is an aggressive call. What he's done with this culture and what he's done with his coaching staff. He brought in the right people, the way they built the roster, and the way that they developed, and to get this team rolling. I mean, the belief is there, but they play football the right way.